Okay. Hello, everyone. Um, my name is Kirby. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm going to play Slay the Spire, which is a game that I've just started playing this week, and it's really good, and I like it a lot, and I'm gonna try to beat it, because, well, it's a roguelike. Um, This is the first character you unlock. There's a few different characters that are all really cool, and also the art in this game is really awesome. Which is, I mean, the art I think accounts for exactly half of my enjoyment of the entire game, which is really saying something because the combat is also really good. I just like it a lot. Okay, so I've beat the game with the Ironclad and the Defect, so I'm gonna be playing Silent again, which I've lost many times at already. But maybe I'll be lucky this time. Who knows? And I think something cool will happen since these were the three main characters. I think this one, the Watcher, was added later. So I think after you beat the game with the first three characters, something cool actually happens, but I don't know what. So I don't know. If I win, that could be a cool surprise. Every time you play with a character, you actually basically get experience that unlocks like new cards and stuff. Which, by the way, we're about to get into it, but it's also a card game, basically. Well, it's not like a card game really. It's like, you know, a card based it's a deck builder game. I don't know. I don't know how you describe it exactly. It's a roguelike with where you have a deck of cards, and at the beginning of every run you get to choose some random thing here. So we could get a card to add to our deck. We start with this deck. It changes based on what character you chose, but so we have 5 strikes, 5 defense. That comes with any character, and then some special cards here. So this one gain 8 block, discard a card. This one deal 3 damage, apply 1 weak. Well, you'll catch on really easily. This game is quite easy to understand once you start playing it for a bit. But anyways, the relic that we have right now, which you'll see this fill up, this top part fill up as we get more, is that we draw 2 additional cards at this start of every combat, which is just for the first round, I think. And then for the rest of the rounds, we have the regular, I think 5. So we could lose that and pick a different, or get a random different relic. Lose all our gold, which we can use to buy cards and potions and stuff. This is our potion slots. I'm gonna go with a rare relic because I think that could be it. Okay, this this is what I've seen before. It's pretty cool. It's the Duvu doll, and for each curse that you get in your deck, which are really usually they're pretty annoying because basically regular curses are just like a card that does nothing that's in your deck. So basically you can, instead of one of the cards that you get in your hand as a curse instead of an actual useful card, and it's just annoying. And some of them actually have even worse things that they do, like sap your health or something. But this actually makes curses pretty good, because for every curse that you get in your deck, your combat strength increases by 1, which is pretty awesome. So we might play a little more risky in this game. We'll see. We have no money, so there's no use going for the merchant there. Let's see, these question marks are just random events, which some of them actually are more like where you can learn a little bit of the plot of this game, which this is not a really plot-heavy game, but there are some little bits of lore in there, which I really love. And then there's just regular enemies. There's stronger enemies called elites, treasure chests, and then the boss up here, which the boss always has a unique symbol for each boss that it could be, because I don't know, they just like to flex like that. All the art in this game is amazing. Okay, let's try to go this way, just so we can get the question marks, because I like those a bit better than combat sometimes. At least towards the beginning when we're not as strong. So let's see. This costs 0 energy, which means, yeah, we have 3 energy at the start of each round. It weakens by 1, so it does less damage. 25% less damage if you wanted to know that. And we'll block to block all that damage that it's going to do. These basically you can see what the enemy is going to do on the next turn, because this is turn based. And then we'll do 6 damage here, and I guess 1 more damage here because they blocked most of that damage. These little enemies can't block on the next turn though. It's just the first time that they get hit, they roll up. We can take this one out actually with 2 strikes, so we don't even have to worry about taking damage, so we won't defend. And wow, easy peasy. The enemies get a lot harder than that, but in the beginning they're pretty easy. Now let's see. There's a lot of different ways we can build this character. They're based mostly around poison and daggers, so you can get a deck where basically you'll get like a bunch of knives on your turn that you can throw like a ton of knives at people and for like very low energy, and that's one way you can do it. And the other way, well, there's actually a lot more ways than that. It's basically the 2 big things are getting a bunch of knives to do lots of damage, or inflicting a lot of poison to do a lot of damage. So, we're gonna stick with dagger throw for now, because if we can draw more cards and stuff, then it gives us a little more flexibility with what we can do with the deck. Okay, the living wall. As you come to a dead end and begin to turn around, walls slam down from the ceiling, trapping you. 3 faces materialize from the walls and speak. Forget what you know, and I'll let you go. I require change to see a new space. If you want to pass me, then you must grow. And then we get these 3 little options here. Every single time I read this first line here, I think that all 3 of them are going to rhyme, and it doesn't. I'm disappointed. But, okay. Generally, I'm just going to go for an upgrade, because transforms will pick a random... Well, this actually won't pick a random card, because you just get to choose, I think. But you'll pick a card and it'll change to a different random card. But well, actually, we could try to get something better than dagger throw, because honestly, it's not that useful. Yeah, let's transform dagger throw. Masterful stab. Well, that's actually, I don't like that card. That could have gone better. World of goop. Yep, I've seen this one before. You fall into a puddle. It's made of slime goop. Frantically, you claw yourself out over several minutes as you feel the goop starting to burn. You can feel goop in your ears, goop in your nose, goop everywhere. Climbing out, you notice that some of your gold is missing. Looking back into the puddle, you see your missing coins, combined with gold from other unfortunate adventurers mixed together in the puddle. So we could risk our life to get more money than we had before, or just lose the money. Which, losing the money is fine at this point, because it's such a small amount of money, it just really doesn't matter. So we'll just not. It's not worth it. Yeah, the battles here at the beginning just not that interesting. I generally try to block all damage if possible, even if it means I'm not attacking that turn, because I'll have an opening eventually, and health is really at a premium in this game because, well, generally in roguelikes, you don't have a lot of options in terms of healing, and this game does that really well too, because there really aren't a lot of options for healing. I mean, on your map, you have these rest stops where you can heal, but you can also upgrade cards there or do other stuff depending on relics that you have that give you more options. So the game really does a good job of trying to get you to not heal so much, because healing in a roguelike makes things less fun, because if you don't have to worry about taking damage, you don't have to worry about dying, and you at that point you're not really enjoying the risk and reward that comes with roguelikes, because roguelikes are all about the sort of random stuff that comes with it and trying to deal with what you have and make your way in a harsh world. I don't know. Okay, let's see. This is a pretty sick move actually, but this is geared towards the knives loadout, because basically you get a bunch of the card is called Shiv, and its cost is 0, so you can basically use cards that summon a ton of them and then do a ton of damage for 0 energy at all. And this is what goes well with that, because for every Shiv that you use, now this card will do 6 damage for each of them, and you just end up doing a ton of damage. But I don't know if I'm gonna end up going that route, and if that's the case, then this isn't a super great move. If I could do something like this, because I mean, also this being 2 energy is not great either, but having a move that gives us more block is gonna help us survive a little longer. So let's see here. Let's go this way. Yeah, let's go this way. Nice, it's just a shrine. There's a couple different types of shrines you can get, and they're all pretty good. So this one just gives us money, or we could take a curse and get even more money, which actually for us is a good idea. The problem is that this is like the worst curse card you can get, I think. One of the worst anyways. Is you lose HP equal to the number of cards in your hand, which is something that you can not very easily control, because you only have a limited amount of energy every turn. So if you have 5 cards in your hand and you can only play 3 of them, then you're losing 2 HP every turn. And that sucks. So do we really want this curse? Yeah, I mean, it'll make us stronger. And we get a ton of money, which we can use to buy more cards, and hopefully we'll just skate on by without taking too much damage. I think it would be cool if you could upgrade... Oh, by the way, this is rest stop. You can choose to either rest and heal for 30% of your max HP, or upgrade a card in your deck. And since we're at full HP, I'm just gonna upgrade. I kind of wish you could upgrade curses to be less sucky, but it is what it is. Besides that, curses aren't too bad usually anyway, so it's not a big deal. Let's see, what do we want to upgrade? I could upgrade either of these, and it's just like does more of that. Let's see, we could upgrade this, but probably won't be able to use this very much because I'll probably end up taking a lot of damage even if I try not to, so. We could do that. Yeah, let's upgrade this, just to have more block. Because, I mean, as much damage as we can block, that's great. It saves us from losing HP. It's perfect. It's awesome. I'll be more talkative once we get to the more, like, interesting combat, but, I mean, for now it's just, like, attack or defend. Yeah, and see, this thing is just gonna make us lose health now, because we can't play both of these. So we'll just do that. We'll lose 1 health. It's not a big... Oh, 2 health. Right, because the curse counts as one of the cards in my hand. Wow. By the way, I haven't pointed out these potions at all, but I guess I don't use them too much. But I've learned, because of the way that they designed the game, to use them at least a little bit, because once you get 3 potions, every time you get a potion after that, you're gonna have to replace one of them with a new potion. So you've just wasted one, basically. If you don't use them, you're wasting them. So, and that's good game design, because then it's like, well, these may not be like super duper useful, but if you don't use them, you're wasting them. Also, I just picked one, but basically these power cards are great. So we're gonna be probably going for the poison route, because this is basically like a poison engine. Just play this card, which powers can only be used once per game, but you can get multiple of them. So I can just get, if I find more of them, I can get more of this card specifically, and then every turn I'll be adding 2 poison to every enemy, and then 4 poison if I use another card, and so on, and it'll just get out of control. Let's see. This is a bit tricky. When you have a ton of enemies out, it's hard to block all the damage, because even if I do block all this damage, I've used up all my energy and now I can't attack, you know what I mean? But in this case, we actually can block all of them and still attack, because we have this. This costs 0 for us, because we'll still take damage because of that freaking card. But since we hadn't taken any damage, the Masterful Stab card costs 0 energy. But now if we see it again, it'll cost more. Apply weak. We can play 2 of these. Let's take out this one, so we minimize the damage as much as we can, and then block all of that damage, actually. The slimes aren't too hard to deal with, but once you get something like the, I forget what they're called, goblins or something, little imp things, they do a lot of damage. Well, not a ton of damage, but enough damage to make you worry. And there's also a lot of them that just, they suck to deal with. And take out that one. Yeah, these also inflict weaken, which makes us do less damage, which stinks. And they can really, once we get further in the game, they can really stack that stuff up and make you do like 2 damage and only 3 block and stuff like that. it sucks a lot to deal with. Let's take out this. Actually, let's take out this one. It doesn't really matter at this point, but whatever. Oop, I clicked out of the window by accident. Alright, let's see. We can just add it. There we go. Alright. None of these are poison related. This one is pretty nice though. It does 4 damage twice to all enemies, so total of 8 damage. It's pretty good. Well, 8 damage times however many enemies. It's pretty awesome. I'm looking ahead now because even though these are both the same, the route up here is different. I don't know. We have a lot of money though, so I'm trying to look. Mostly I just look ahead to see if there's merchants and whatnot. You might think that you would want to avoid elites at all costs, but you actually get good rewards for fighting them because they're stronger, so you get relics for that, and we are actually pretty low on relics right now. We'll get more of them later, but I would have thought we would have had like 4 by now, or at least that's how it usually goes for me. So let's go this way, fight this guy, and then we can reassess how much, whatever. We're going this way. Oh, awesome! I love this. The Centennial Puzzle. It's this actually is a relic, and it's obviously a reference to Yu-Gi-Oh, which is hilarious, and it's the first time you lose HP each combat, draw 3 cards. I believe that's a reference to the oh, what is that thing called? It's like Pot of Greed, where every time when you use a Pot of Greed, you draw 3 cards, and it's like Yu-Gi-Oh's one of Yu-Gi-Oh's signature moves. Okay, let's look ahead. The next thing we're gonna fight is this elite. So we could heal up. Well, we have most of our HP, and this is the first, well, not the first floor, but the first. You have to fight 3 of these bosses to get to the end. And since we're only in the first area right now, this is not going to be too hard to deal with. I don't imagine we'll lose all of our health from fighting it. So let's just upgrade a card. There's probably something worth it. Yeah, we can upgrade Noxious Fumes. It'll be awesome. In my earlier playthroughs, I would heal at this point, but I've learned to be a bit more risky with this stuff because, I mean, this is going to help out a lot later. More than just, I mean, even if we healed now, it would be kind of a waste because we'd heal up to full and waste some of the health we could be healing. It really just depends how risky you want to be with that, I guess. So we're immediately going to play that. It's technically asleep right now. We could stall for a bit before it wakes up, but we don't really need to do that at this point. And we need to use as many cards as we can so we don't take damage from this curse. And it's stunned for this turn because we woke it up. If we stalled, it wouldn't be stunned because it would wake up on its own. See, now this is where this stuff comes in handy because stuff darts do way more damage and we need cards like this to block it. It's just how it is. And that still doesn't even block all the damage, it's just close. Yeah. Just taking stock in my potions, because sometimes you have attack potions too, like explosives and stuff. There's a lot of potions in this game. Some of them are really useful. Some of them just permanently upgrade your HP, which is incredible. Pretty rare though, as far as I know. much as we can, and then this actually does 10 damage. Oh, but that's right, because we do 1 extra damage because we have the curse. Nice. It's chipping away at us slowly, doing like 3 damage. Hopefully we'll get a little better here. Let's see what we can do here. We could do 7, 14, or 13. So we'll just do these two. We don't need to use blocks because it's not attacking. Yeah. It lowered our dexterity, which means our block cards now do less blocking, which is bad for us because this guy does a lot of damage. So we'll do this again, and this, even though we can't block that much of it, just taking 18 damage is a bad idea. And they're still poisoned, so they're still taking damage every turn. So yeah, we might just try to block out this again. Yep, perfect. And only take 1 damage from regret. Great. We can use this for free. And can't even use that anymore because it took too much damage. I guess we'll just do 10. And now we don't even have to use that because it's gonna die from poison. Great. This is a pretty good relic, or a calcum. Probably how it's pronounced. Yeah, it's just if you end your turn without block, gain 6 block. So that's good if you just like get unlucky and only have attacks in your hand and they're gonna do a big attack. You can at least block 6, which is not a lot, but it's better than nothing, I guess. This is gonna be good for our poison deck that we're trying to build. Bouncing Flask does 3 poison to 3 random enemies, so if you're fighting just one person, it'll do 9 poison to them, which is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna do this and block as much as possible. This one has less health, so we'll try to do damage. And 10 damage to everyone. We're still gonna take some damage here, but it's the best we can do. As you can see, some enemies actually put cards in your deck, which sucks, because you'll just end up with a ton of cards that you don't need, like basically like curses, all stuck in your deck that you just can't do anything with. You'll just slowly become incapacitated by only drawing 1 or 2 cards you can actually use. But there's ways you can deal with that stuff. Like this one, you can actually play it and it'll disappear from your deck, but it costs 1 energy. So it's another risk reward thing, I guess. Yeah, so we're going to use dash to get block and kill that thing in the same turn, and then we can block again to block the rest of the damage that guy's gonna do. Sorry, he's just taking a drink of water. I'm gonna have to be talking for, I don't know, how long does this go? Probably like 2 hours? Probably less than that. I haven't really been keeping track how long these runs take, but it's definitely over an hour, I think. And poison. We actually can't block this turn, so that sucks, but also we do That's good. Oh yeah, we can block because we have the Orichalcum, and we'll block all of the damage. Great. See, it's working out great. Let's see. Oh, we're doing less damage now because they weakened us. That sucks. Let's see. We'll do that damage. Actually, if we hit one more time, they'll die from poison, so you don't have to worry about blocking. Because the poison hits at the start of their turn. Skill potion. Okay. Actually, the designs of these potions usually tell you what they do. Like this one, the triangles are usually like they just upgrade like strength or dexterity or give you block or something. Card-shaped ones will give you a card for free. There's other ones too. Like heart-shaped ones will have something to do with health, generally. Let's see. This is based around the Shiv deck that you can build. So I guess I'll go with. Okay, this actually, here's a good point. This is good to like pick up like draw a new card and try to use that. But also what this is good for is that when you use it, you have to discard another card. And we can discard our curses. So if we have this in our hand, we can discard it before it gets to the end of our turn and not lose any HP. So that could be super useful for us. I mean, it only will help us getting out of taking like what 5 HP, but it's like it adds up. It really adds up. So our health is in a pretty good situation, so I'm gonna go to the store and then heal up afterwards before the boss. I think we could be a bit more risky with it, but I know the next area that we go in, there's thieves, and they'll just try to take all of our gold, and it will suck. So might as well spend as much as we can before we get there. And now you can see the store. It's cool. We got up at the top, we got green cards, which there's actually different colored cards for the different characters, and you can actually get cards from other characters' decks in your deck. It's just not that common, and they don't show up here in the shop. So up here we got cards we can add to our deck. Colorless cards are generally like they're just general cards that you could use for any character, and they help with a bit with strategy most of the time, is what I've found. Then we actually can buy relics here, and we have enough money to, actually. I don't think I've seen this one before. Whenever you would receive 5 or less unblocked attack, reduce it to 1. That's not that helpful, honestly. Except, actually it is. That would be, I mean, if we think about the last few battles that we've been in, most of the time I'm able to block most of the damage and then receive 5 or less attack. Lose 5 or less health that just was overflow that wasn't blocked. So this could actually save like a ton of HP. Potentially, which explains why it costs so much. The other options are heal whenever you get to a shop, gain block whenever you shuffle your draw pile. I think we'll go with this, and then we could buy something else too. Let's see. We could get infinite blades, which goes with the blade deck, the Shiv deck you can build. It's honestly not a bad idea. There is a sort of middle road you can take where you can like use both blades and poison in tandem, which is there's another power card that's called what is it called? can't remember what it's called, but basically, it makes it so that every time you deal unblocked damage, the enemy gets poisoned. So you can combine your infinite blades and do a bunch of damage and get poisoned every time, and then, you know, yeah, so there's that. But, well, yeah, let's just take this, because this, I mean, it's just pretty useful to have this. It gives you free damage cards. It's pretty good. I mean, realistically, we're not just gonna only have one strategy with the deck. We need to, you know, be able to have diverse stuff in case we can't use something. And right now, we can't block any of this damage. That sucks. Oh. We can try using our potions, because I don't want to lose too much health before I go into the boss fight. So I'm gonna try to do our best here. Let's drink one of these. See if we can get... No? Oh, I forgot how these blobs work, actually, because you can avoid some of this. Let's use this and see what we get. Alright, poison, that's fine. Whatever. We'll just take the damage this time, it's fine. But basically, slimes have this property: when its HP is at or below 50%, it's split into smaller slimes. So, we don't necessarily have to block all this damage if we can get its health low enough in one turn. Which might be possible with what we have. I don't know. Let's see. This... it's actually pretty close. So let's see. 10... 7... Okay, now poison will take it below. So... Well, let's just hit it again. I don't... Well... Yeah, we'll use infinite blades, and then poison will damage it. It'll change its mind and split instead of attacking. Perfect. And that's just strategy you learn from playing the game. I mean, I've played this a lot over the last few days, probably more than I'd care to admit. So I have a bit of experience behind me when dealing with this stuff. Let's block as much as we can here. These ones won't split anymore, so we can't rely on the tactic we used last time. Yeah, we're just not going to be able to block all of this. Hopefully, no, 7 is above 5, so we'll still take the damage, but whatever. We take damage, we take damage. If it's unavoidable, there's nothing we can do about it. And we're just gonna heal after this and then go to the boss, so it's not a huge deal. We're just trying to get to the boss with as much health as possible. Let's see. Oh man, this is gonna suck. We have a bunch of cards in our hand at the end of our turn. Except we have this, which is exactly why I bought it. Now we can get rid of it, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. Man, all of our block is gone on a turn where we didn't need block. That sucks. And... oh, okay. Well, we can't do anything else with one energy, because we don't need to block at all. We can kill this guy before he attacks us. Oh, maybe we're weakened, so maybe not. Who knows? We'll try our best. Oh, we definitely killed this one. Yep. Okay, we can kill that one too. Just a bunch of damage for no reason, I guess. Okay. Alright, let's see. I just had a mini panic attack, like, wait a minute, did I actually start the recording? No, I did. Okay, this is my first time doing this, so I was a bit nervous, because I've been doing this for 40 minutes. Okay, let's see. This is a pretty good move, because you can do damage and block at the same time, which is like a cheaper, less effective version of dash. Kind of want another dagger spray though. But this is another thing I have to think about, is as your deck gets bigger, you have the potential to not draw any of the cards you need in one turn. So you have to try to find a balance between block cards and attacking cards, because if you don't, then you'll just end up like getting a whole hand of blocks in a turn you don't need them, and then getting a whole hand of attacks on a turn where you really need blocks, and it sucks. So try to balance that stuff out. And now we'll heal. See, we only got 57 out of 70, but I think we'll probably be fine. And this is the Hexaghost, or just Hexaghost, I guess. There's no title there. We'll get rid of regret. Oh man, it's really quiet. Yeah, I guess because it hasn't started attacking yet. Then the music will kick in and it'll be like, whoa, scary. Pretty good to get it poisoned this early, because we're just gonna try to keep it poisoned for the whole battle and make it lose all of its health. And now that music kicks in. It's pretty good at building a mood, this game is. Let's see. We could use this, which would be great, but we need to try to block as much damage as possible. And they're doing a lot of damage, I don't know if you noticed that. Hexaghost, the damage is based on each of these flames, basically. Which is why it's doing 5 to 6 times. 6. And later on they'll do less damage than this, because they have to like inflame each of these after they go out. It's weird. I don't fully understand how it works, but what I know is we basically just have to focus on blocking this turn and as much as we can, and then later on it won't be as bad, probably. So this thing actually did block some damage, because, yeah, but let's see. See, now they're all out, so it's just doing a very small amount of damage. Now we don't even have to block, because the Auric Alchem is going to kick in and negate all of this damage. And even if it didn't, 4 is less than 5, so we wouldn't take the damage anyways because of this thing. Incredible! Okay. So we just need to focus on doing as much damage as possible this turn. Okay. Let's see. They did a status card, so now we have burns in our deck, which means if we have them in our hand at the end of the turn, we'll take damage. Like that. Luckily, we have a rack pack. We can just get rid of it for now. We'll probably have to deal with it later, but we can block 100% of this damage, do some attack. This the giant hex bar, or the giant health bars in this game are very intimidating, especially later on when there's even more than this. It's just, you just sit there looking at it like, how the hell am I ever gonna get their health down that far? I mean, it's scary. It really is scary, especially after you spend like so long on a run. But it makes the game exciting, I will give it that. We don't even have to worry about taking 6 damage because of the Argo. So we can just focus on doing this. Actually, we will play the defense to minimize the amount of damage we take from the crit. But we wouldn't need to. Not attacking this turn. They're just gonna use a block and a buff. Okay. I guess it's not. Well, let's see. We could do 11, 5. Yeah, we'll do this. That's probably the most damage we can do, and leave it at that. We're still inflicting poison every turn, so it's slowly ticking up the amount of damage we're doing, but we still have to stay alive until it gets to bigger numbers. And we actually can use Bounty Blast to increase that number and bring it down even farther. I think I don't even have to worry about this much damage because they're 2 individual attacks, so each one is going to be blocked by this thing, but also this. Okay, so these two are actually pretty overpowered because I don't even have to think about blocking. That's awesome. I did not expect that. So we'll just use this. Now they're going to take 18 damage, 17 damage, 16 damage, so on. I just realized I didn't explain how poison worked earlier, but that's how it works. Every turn, the poison number goes down, and then it inflicts that much damage. We don't need to do that. And there. We actually took 1 damage there. I wonder why. Oh, because it doesn't actually negate it. It reduces it to 1. Forgot about that. So I should think about blocking this a little bit, but I probably won't think about it that much if all the damage they're going to be doing is 1. Because I mean, 1 damage is 1 damage. I mean, it will add up, but I won't have to think about it that much. We have sucky cards in here. We can block all of this, and we can actually use all the cards in our hand. So, no strategy to that. Except we lost health from that stuff. I think burns... Oh no, the burns aren't exhausted. But yeah, some cards are exhausted instead of shuffled into your discard pile, which means they just won't be used again, like the shivs. Which honestly, it's a good thing, because if you had this many shivs, they just clog up your deck and it would suck. But since they exhaust, you never have to worry about that. We'll try to block as much damage as we can this turn. I don't want to rely on using our relics for now. Honestly, at this point, we just have to survive like one more turn before poison kills it. Still took 1 damage. That's fine. We get healed to full after we fight the boss, so it's like literally it's gonna die now. Just from poison. There we go. Hexaghost dead. And we got a bunch of money and a cool card. I like this. I like this card. Actually, these are all decent cards. What is this one? Start of your turn, draw one card and discard one card. That one, honestly, kind of sucky. Not that great to me. Anyways, I mean, what that would do is just give you, like, well, I don't need this card in my hand, I'll just use this other card. You know, it would be minorly helpful with stuff, but I mean, compared to this stuff where it's like deal 1 damage every time you use a card, like, what? That's crazy, incredible. And this is gain 1 block every time you play a card, which is awesome and costs less. So now here's the thing. This is really good, but it wouldn't play well with Orichalcum because if we play 3 cards in 1 turn, this Orichalcum won't activate, and we could potentially take more damage, like 2 damage, because, well, yeah, we'd take like 3 extra damage we wouldn't have had to take if Orichalcum had activated. So maybe it's not the best for us right now, but this sort of thing would be amazing if we had the Shiv deck, where we just play a ton of Shivs and gain like 10 block. So which of these would be best for our deck? Probably 1,000 cuts, because that's just doing damage. We don't have to worry about how that interacts with our blocking stuff, and it stays for the entire rest of the battle. That's what powers are, basically. So, I mean, in a boss fight like this, doing damage every single time we play a card, it's pretty awesome. And after bosses, we get to pick a relic, and boss relics are a little bit different from regular relics just because they affect gameplay pretty well. You can usually skate by without affecting your gameplay too much, but I mean, take a look at this. Philosopher's Stone gives you 1 extra energy just across the board. So instead of having 3 energy all the time, you'd have 4 energy all the time for every turn, forever, for the rest of the game. But all enemies have 1 strength, so every single attack that enemies are dealing will do 1 more damage, which super duper adds up. Runic Stone, gain energy at the start of your turn. The same thing. We'd have 4 energy instead of 3. But you can't see what enemies are doing anymore, which would suck massively. I don't know what I would do if I had to deal with that. Because, I mean, in like a boss fight, if you can't tell that they're going to do like 52 damage to you, and then you're like, I would just try to block all the time and then like waste so much time. And Busted Crown. Gain energy at the start of your turn. It's the same as the other 2, but future card rewards have 2 less cards to choose from, which means we don't have a choice in what the card reward is, we just get a card, or don't take it. Which sucks. So, generally, I guess faced with these options, I would probably go for the Philosopher's Stone, because at least dealing with stronger enemies is like a challenge, whereas these ones are like filling your deck with crappy like cards you didn't want, or cards that don't work with your strategy, or just completely fucking you over in this case. So I guess we'll go with this one and just try to survive. So we're 1/3 through this run. We're only an hour in, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, whatever. Okay. So the boss we're fighting this time is, which one is this one? I believe that is, what is it called? The Collector? Something like that. They're like a weird hooded figure. And they are a scary boss. Scarier than Hexaghost, which I beat almost every time because it's not that hard. This one actually might be the scariest boss we could get on the second area. But that's just my opinion. I'm not even sure if that's what I would pick, because there's also this like sword guy that basically, after you fight him for a certain amount of turns, he does this like hyper beam attack, which I don't know why it's a laser instead of like him just walloping you with his sword, but I guess it's magic. I don't know. But that has killed me multiple times, and I mean, I've beat him probably more times than I've lost to him, but still not. Still not a guy to be trifled with, certainly. Also, there's a relic that is called the Champ's Belt, I think, and it's, if you go into that night guy's boss battle with it equipped, he's like, "That's my belt," and I just, that's such a cool detail, like a little bit of lore, like, oh wow, I actually have an item that belongs to this guy. Like, that's cool. Which, I mean, the probability that you actually have that relic at that point, if you play this game a lot, if you own this game, you probably play it a lot, in which case you probably have seen it before, but I mean, that was cool to me, I don't know. I guess it doesn't have to be special to be cool. Anyways, I've just been blathering on. Let's pick a direction to go. I kind of want to go up this way so we can hit these question marks. Because basically, with the Silent, the Silence deck works better with a smaller deck, I've found. So avoiding enemy combats to try to like not get as many cards is the way to go, because the more cards you have, the more like you'll get cards in your hand that you don't need to use at all. And that's not great. Okay, here's two things we haven't seen yet. Barricade, which means that block won't be removed at the start of its turn, so this 40 block we'll just have to deal with for the rest of the fight, which is why it has such low health, is because it's barricaded. And artifact, which means it has 3 artifact. It actually won't gain any more artifact, but basically the first 3 statuses we try to inflict, like weak, are just negated, which also sucks. These things are just, they also do a lot of damage, so they're just really annoying to deal with. Still not something I would call scary necessarily. Not exactly annoying, because it's still like a cool enemy, I guess, but pretty much in any combat system, if you have an enemy that's just defense, it's not that interesting to fight, and it feels kind of like bullshit. So, even though this enemy kind of has cool design and stuff, it gets annoying like that, because it's like, well, I'm doing tons of damage and doing nothing, Okay, let's see what we can do. I think we can block most of this, if not all of it. Actually, we can block all of it. And use poison. We have one more energy, so we can. Oh, okay. Well, neither of these are actually going to be useful to us. But we're actually doing pretty well, because we were able to do quite a lot of damage on the first turn. But yeah, see, it does a bunch of damage. 22 damage, jeez. And this is the other annoying thing it does, is it makes you frail, which means your block does less, which means it's just sitting here, sitting pretty with its like 50 defense that it started with, and then like does more and more damage the farther you get into it, and makes you weaker and weaker and unable to defend. Which I guess just funnels you into taking damage and attacking, but it still sucks. Let's use the strength potion we've been sitting on for a while and try to kill it as fast as possible. Oh, we can actually do that damage here. And oh man, let's drink this entropic brew to fill up our slots here and see if we can kill it without taking damage. Got a block potion that it won't reach 22. That would get us to 19. Nope, nothing here will save us. I guess let's just minimize damage then. Actually, the excess damage will be converted to 1 by this thing, so it's not too bad, I guess. Losing 1 damage, or 1 health. Is this thing gonna activate even though it's the end of the thing? I don't think it does, but I hope it doesn't, because, yeah, okay. That's good, because if it did, that would feel like bullshit, really. Okay. Yeah, we want Catalyst. Catalyst doubles the enemy's poison, so if... It's just good. It's just good. I don't need to explain why that's good. It just works well with our strategy. Okay, let's use this. I guess we'll block all damage. Oh, and we have 1 extra energy. I keep forgetting that. Because of this thing, Phosphorus Stone. And we still took damage from Regret, so that's nice. Okay. Noxious Fumes and Bouncing Flask. Just poison this guy up and sick. Neutralize, and we can block. We won't need this block, so we can just get rid of it. And yeah, we can play both of these. So we can use the 1,000 cuts thing, and then every time we use a card, just do 1 damage. Honestly, some of this stuff is like overkill for 1 enemy, but like, what else can we do? It's just these are the cards we have. If I actually use this block, I'll actually defend less. So let's discard this. These should stay in my hand. If I shuffle them back in the discard pile, I'll just see them again, but they are ethereal. I always pronounce that wrong. Ethereal, which means that if they're in my hand at the end of the turn, they will be exhausted. Which there's actually other cards besides statuses that have that effect, which can be Also, if you're wondering why I'm dazed right now, it's because this guy puts a stupid spell on you that every time you use something that isn't an attack, you get dazed. And then you get dazed, just gets shuffled into your pile here. And they're already dead, but I should try to kill them before that, because I'm going to take damage from regret if I don't kill them before my turn ends. Right, because it does that at the end of the turn. Okay. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Okay, so there's two things here that can work well with our strategy. Crippling Cloud, which applies 4 poison and 2 weak to all enemies, but also it costs 2 energy, so... Did I say energies instead of enemies? I don't know. But it's, it costs 2 energy, so in a lot of cases I probably won't use it. That's the thing, is most of the time I'll be using 1 energy stuff because it's like the most efficient use of my energy, so I won't get around to using something like this until like the second time I see it or something. But it still could be useful. And Bane is just good in general because basically you do 7 damage, and if they're poisoned you do 7 damage again. So weighing these two, I'll probably use this one more often, so probably worth it to get it. These two. Okay, so this is Centurion and Mystic, which are your classic like brawler healer combo, and they're kind of annoying to fight because they'll like build block on each other, and like this one heals both of them, and it's annoying. So you could try to kill this one first, but it might actually even be faster to kill this one first. But in any case, I need to block this damage. So block. Do 13 damage. In this case, probably Noxious Fumes is going to be better. We could play both, technically. Actually, we will, instead of striking. We'll just... Oh, no, I can't. I somehow miscounted. Oh well. Why did a bunch of cards just go into my discard? Oh, because I took damage from regret, and then this Centennial Puzzle put 3 cards in my hand, and then they were all immediately discarded because the turn was already over. That's stupid. Okay. We can weaken this guy to take less damage. Then okay, we'll save this one, use it last so that we can not discard a card. Because we can use all 4 of these with our energy. Oh, my voice is getting scratchy from talking for so long. Well, I mean, that is why I brought water. Dang it! They healed. I mean, they're poisoned, so they'll be taking damage anyways. But let's see what we can do here. We don't have to worry about blocking this turn. So let's see. We'll use that because I mean it'll probably come in handy to do more damage later. We'll double this one's poison because I mean they have 54 health, so they'll die in just a few turns even if they are healing. And then we'll try to do as much damage to them before the next turn, so that we can accelerate that process. Let's see. Yeah, this is actually gonna do more damage. So they're pretty close to dead. I think they'll heal a little bit next turn, because what are they? Yeah, they're... I can't tell exactly what they're gonna do, but they're gonna buff, which I'm guessing just means heal wolf. Yeah, see that healed. Alright. What can we do here? We can't really defend much. We have one defense, and it's not even gonna do as much as Orichalcum. So, I mean, this is the weird thing with this setup, is if I have one defend, it's not even worth playing, because it'll be worse than not playing it. So, which is a weird situation to be in, but that's just how it is, I guess. So let's discard this defend, since well, now I can use it because we have another blocking card. So instead, let's get rid of this, because I probably wasn't going to play it anyways. Okay. So now we'll do 11 damage and block 10, and then block the remaining 5 with this, so we won't take any damage from this guy. And then let's do 16 damage to this one, because they're already poisoned. They will die, and we can use the rest of the attack on that guy. Great. Now we just have to deal with this guy. The Centurion. I think that's how you pronounce that word. Let's see. So we just need to use one of these. Get rid of one of these. Use the block. Won't take any damage. Now we can focus on attacking. And that's the turn. I hope this isn't boring. I think it's quite fun, but of course I'm playing, so I would think it's fun. Hopefully I am entertaining. I can only hope. Now let's see. 29 minus 11 is 18. Can we do 18 damage and just get him to die this turn? No, no way. Wait, hold on. 10, 4, no. 11, 5, 16? No, okay. Actually, I can use this strength potion. So I think I actually can kill him this turn. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna do this for good measure, because I get nervous sometimes that I just think they're gonna die from poison, and they maybe have like one tiny bit of health left. That's never happened, but I still get nervous about it. So let's see. Honestly, all of these are good. I'll probably end up going with this one again. Also, it's already upgraded because of, I think we have something that's upgrading cards whenever we... No? I guess it's just an upgraded card. Great. Well, we'll get this one. But there's a relic that like upgrades cards every time you pick them up. So that's what I thought it was. Okay. Let's do this? Question mark? Oh, I've never seen this one before. Pleading Vagrant. While sneaking past a group of shrouded figures, one of them approaches you. Got anything for me, friend? Please, maybe some coin? I just need somewhere to stay. I have treasure I can trade. He seems delusional, but harmless. Well, he doesn't seem delusional to me. He just seems like a guy, but okay. Yeah, so I could rob him, which I'm not gonna do because, well, Now this is the thing, we have the Duvu doll, so actually robbing this guy would make us stronger. And we would get a relic out of it. I mean, I feel bad about this, but... I mean, I'm not gonna get to the top of the spire and slay it if I'm just... this is... I like being nice to everyone that I find in the tower, because, like, there's this cute guy, called... I forget his name, but there's another event like this where a guy runs up to you and he's like, hey, I found you, and you're it's like, you don't even know this person, but they're like super friendly and they trade stuff with you, but you can fight them, but I just never do because they're just so nice. But now, if I do this, it would be good for me. I don't know if I I don't know. I would feel bad doing this, but I want to win the game. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna feel bad, but maybe I can win if I do this. You snatch the precious relic from his clutches and walk away. Oh, walk away? Not even run? Oh, that really hurts. Imagine being that cold. I mean, I guess I am. I just did that. Oh, that sucks. From behind you here. Have you no shame? Have you no shame? And now I have some shame. Yeah, but I'm stronger now. I'll do 2 extra damage with every attack. I mean, that's gonna be super handy. I don't know. I mean, it sucks. It sucks to do that, but it's just it's a dog-eat-dog world out here in the Spire. I mean, I don't know. You haven't seen it get too bad, but I've done so many runs where I'm just holding on by a thread with so little health, just barely getting to the top of the tower and then getting killed by the boss, and it sucks. So let's try to forget about that and move on for now. Oh man, this is plaguing my conscience. Okay, focus. We've got a cultist, a chosen here. Cultists do this thing where they get more attack every turn, and the chosen we've seen before, he does the stupid hex that makes you super dazed. Hold on a second. I just had to check something. Okay. Yeah, let's use poison, noxious fumes, because that's gonna help out a lot in taking care of these two. And honestly, do this too. And actually, we shouldn't use this because it's only going to do as much block as Orc Alchem again. Also, I missed this. Oh, this was the relic the guy had. This is incredible, actually. Whenever the Snecko skull is like perfect for the silent, because whenever you apply poison, you apply an additional poison. Which means, since we're applying 3 poison to all enemies every turn, we're actually applying 6 poison to each enemy every turn, and these 2 are going to be toast in like 2 minutes. Well, a lot less than that probably, because I have no concept of time. Okay. I'm going to take 6 damage here, but there wasn't too much I could do to avoid that. Okay, we'll apply weak here, and with this in my hand, I'll gain frail, which will be bad. So I'm not gonna have it in my hand because I'm gonna take it out of my hand. Great. I'll get another noxious fume, and let's deal a ton of damage to this, and really put on the pressure. I mean, yeah, robbing that guy is really paying off now, immediately. But I do feel bad about it. Next time I run into him, I won't do that. I mean, that doesn't make up for it in any way, but I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't so determined to not die. Okay. I'm gonna take 1 damage here. And yep, see, we got a bunch of days. That's why this guy sucks. We could drink this dexterity potion. I almost said poison. That's not what it is. And do 7 block instead of 6 from the orichalcum. Honestly, that might be worth it just to minimize damage, because I have no other defense items here. Defense cards, even. I love that effect of the cards burning up. It's so satisfying. And now they're dead. Okay, hopefully we can get to a rest stop soon and heal up. We're gonna get footwork because dexterity is gonna help us with blocking, which is gonna be great. Not gonna fight that, obviously, because I'm low health. If I was at high enough health, though, I would fight a million. We might do it here, actually, since we can heal afterwards, and we have some health, and it will pay off to fight one. But I'm not super confident of going in with only 46 health, so we'll put it off for now. Maybe we'll fight the next elite up here. I just want to heal up for now. Plus the stuff on this floor is really quite ruthless, so. These plants are a good example of that, because they have this malleable effect, which every time they receive damage, they gain 3 block, and then the block is increased every time that malleable is triggered, and then resets to 3 at the start of my turn, I guess. But it's just such a confusing ability that basically what you're supposed to do with it is do as much do the highest damaging card first, and then it will get 3 block, and then do smaller damaging moves. Because the first one is unblocked. But it's just a weird ability, and I just have trouble wrapping my head around it, I guess. I don't know. It's not even worth playing this because it's not as good as my other block. Let's try to get something else with this. Well, now we can defend 7 instead of 6, which I guess is better. Yeah. And we'll use noxious fumes. and Catalyst. 23. That's that's a lot of poison. Always love to see a ton of poison here, because it just means that the battle's gonna be over soon. Okay. I don't think we're actually gonna be able to do enough damage to kill it this turn. I mean, it'll die on the start of its turn, but I'll still lose HP from this card, which sucks. So I'll try to use as much of these as I can. Yeah, so I'll just take a small amount of damage. Let's see, Caltrops is pretty cool. It's basically thorns. Like, every time that they attack you, they get 3 damage back. And this can stack with more Caltrop cards, which is really cool, because then you can just focus on defending and still do tons of damage. But I haven't been able to use that quite as effectively as it could be. Well, let's get leg sweep, because this is like, you're going to be hit by a big attack, and you use this so that the attack is weakened, and you also negate most of the attack with block. That's what this is for, and that's kind of what we need, because at this point, if we get one card, like, every time we get one defend card in our hand, but not another defend card, it's worthless because of Orichalcum. And that means that it's taking up space that a different card could be in our hand. But this card will still be useful, even if it's 2 energy, because it does enough block to be better than Orichalcum. And let's just heal, because I don't want to stay that low. Oh man, we just basically only healed what we lost during that battle. That sucks. Tungsten Rod. Whenever you would lose HP, lose 1 less. Oh my god! This is literally the relic that matches up with this relic and this relic, basically. I mean, think about it. This blocks 6 damage. Any damage that gets past that 6 block, if it's 5 or less, is reduced to 1, and then this subtracts that 1, and it's just 0. This is exactly like the perfect setup. We're gonna be taking so little damage from now on if we can block it, most of it, which hopefully we can. But that's so sick. Before, when I saw the Tungsten Rod, I was like, that's so stupid. Why would I want a relic that just lowers HP loss by 1? But it's actually awesome, apparently. Oh man, another round with these fools. Okay. We're not gonna use Catalyst because nobody's poisoned yet, so we'll just save it. Because we can only use it once, because it's exhaustive. It won't be discarded. And 9 damage is covered by our healthcare plan here, because 9 minus 6 is less than 5, which is just will be reduced to 0. It's so incredible. Wow. I'm just so stunned that we had this. Guess that's just complete luck. I actually should use this defend to get it out of my hand before regret kicks in. But let's see. 9 minus 6. No, minus 5 is 4. So that'll still be fine. Just trying to minimize damage, even if it's like 1 damage. 0 damage. That's so crazy. I'm so stoked about this. I feel like well, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm quite confident in our abilities now. Okay. Great. We even got out of getting cursed. Whew. Let's see. I think. Oh man, I'm having to do so much math now that I have this. Let's see. Basically, with this setup, let's just do the math once and then not think about it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If an attack is 11 or less, it will be reduced to 0. So we just need to block 3 damage, and that's fine. So we can use this. And oh no, it's not because of Orichalcum. So it's actually, if it's 11 or less unguarded, or 5 or less guarded. So we do actually have to use another defense. And I think 13 minus 7. This is embarrassing. Well, 14 minus 7 is 7, plus or minus 1 is 6. So actually, I think we still need 1 more defend. Oh man, that's not so fantastic, but whatever. Just deal with it. Alright, no need to block this turn. Let's see, we'll use this one, and this will do 12 damage. Oh, perfect. Well, we don't have to deal with them anymore. Okay. Let's see. We do have to defend twice. But that's enough, and then we can focus on doing damage. Since there's nothing to talk about right now, it's a good time to point out again how gorgeous this game is. Just the backgrounds and all the enemies. I mean, even though like they don't have super complex animations or anything, but they don't have to because they look good and they fit in the world. It just, they have cool designs. It's like they don't have cool animations for every single attack or anything like that, but it's like, you don't have to put in that much effort to make a good game. This is good. I just wanted to take some time to say that. This is a good game. Yep. Okay. Okay. We could get this. I don't know how. It'll still be useful. I think we have one in our deck already, but or do we? Oh no, we don't. Yeah, we should get it then. That'll be pretty useful. Finisher. It is an upgraded finisher though. I mean, that'll do a lot of damage no matter. I mean, even if you just use 3 cards, it'd still be a ton of damage. So, I guess we should go with this one. Now, here's the thing. We could go and fight this one, but I still am at a low HP, and so I'd rather go this way around it. It's fun to fight elites, but I don't want to die here. You know, I want to make it to the end. Alright. Sneckos are hard to deal with because they inflict a specific status, which they're going to try to inflict right now on their turn, which is confusion, which means the cost of all of your cards is going to be randomized, although it's generally 4 or less, I think, or maybe it's 3 or less, which means sometimes you'll get a good move that costs 0, sometimes you'll get a sucky move that costs 3 and you're like, why would I even pay that? And sometimes all of your cards will cost way too much and you just get stuck doing something dumb. So, let's just see what we can do here. We'll activate that so that at least the cards we can play will do damage as well. Poison is probably going to be better than just doing outright damage at this point, because if we can stack on the poison, then it doesn't really matter how many attacks we can get off, because it'll be passively doing damage. So we'll try to stick with that. Okay. A free strike. It's fine. This one would normally be free, and it's very useful free. And now it sucks because it costs 2. This is the problem with Sneckos. Even though their name is kind of adorable. Oh, I just got it. It's like a snake and a gecko. Maybe that's why they use confusion, because it's like, which one are you? I don't know. Okay. Well, the most we can defend. Actually, 9 is within our healthcare plan, which is what I'm gonna call it from now on. So we actually don't have to worry about defending. We can just attack. And end of turn. Which is why it was better to poison, like I said, because we can build up a little poison as long as we keep it going. We'll just passively do damage. Oh, getting all these powers for free is sick. Also, I don't know if I've ever had this many statuses underneath me before. Probably have, but it's quite a lot. Now let's see. I'm thinking using the backpack is kind of a gamble because, well, here's the thing. I actually can use both, so I might as well use this and see what I get. Nope. No, thank you. I will use this instead and take my chances. Man, that was... Well, at least I don't have to deal with regret next turn. Great. Free noxious fumes. Awesome. Free defense. We can use 2... Oh, perfect. We can use leg sweep. And now, that's enough to block. And we can use the rest of it to do some amount of damage. Oh man, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, so it really is going to be like 2 hours. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to eat dinner after this. Oh, Seku's dead. Great. I should have at least checked if I had regret in my hand so I didn't take a bunch of damage, but... Well, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, let's see. Nightmare can be cool because... you add 3 copies of a card of your choosing to your hand, which means if we look at the cards we have, you could triple one of your best cards like Noxious Fumes, and if you imagine, that's basically, instead of applying 3 poison, if you can use all 4 of them now, you'd be applying 12 poison per turn, which is just insane and would kill even a boss in a short amount of time. So this is really good, which is why it costs 3 energy, because it's really tempting to not use it because it costs so much and you want to do other stuff with your turn, like do damage or block. But we'll try to see if we can use it effectively. And we'll go to the shop because we have money. Apotheosis. Okay, this is quite notorious. Probably one of the best cards you can get in the game because it upgrades all of the rest of your cards for the rest of combat. And the reason that's so good, besides the fact that it's upgrading all of your cards, some cards when they're upgraded cost less, which means that you don't even have to worry about the fact that it costs 2 to use this, because like for the rest of combat, all of your cards will cost, most of your cards will cost less than they normally do, or 0 even. So this is really incredible and something that we want to have in our deck. And on the other hand, there's some nifty little trinkets over here that we could get. Also, there's this interesting looking potion bottle that gives you 3 knives. I don't know how a potion gives you 3 knives. I'm not going to question it. That's just what it is. Strawberry is great. I wonder if that's a reference to Celeste. I mean, it is just a strawberry, but I mean, maybe it could be strawberry. I don't know. I probably am just reading too much into that, but a lot of other relics are like references to other stuff, like the Centennial Puzzle. So it could be. Okay, but I mean, realistically, I am just gonna buy this. So it's too good to pass up. We could also get Outmaneuver, or Caltrops. Those are the other things we can still afford, besides potions, which I'm not going to spend money on. Also, you'll notice there's card removal here, which is great for if you have curses in your deck, which I wouldn't want to get rid of them in this run. Or if you just have stuff that you're not using and you want to get rid of, so you're not wasting space in your deck. But honestly, I don't know if I really want to get either of these, because this, while it is good, doesn't fit within my... I mean... Well... I guess it's fine. I'll get it. I'll get it. Okay. These birds can be really annoying because there's an encounter where you get 3 of them and they're hard to deal with because they have flight, which means they take 50% less damage. But the trick is to attack them 3 times in one turn, in which case they'll just fall, and then they can't do anything for like 2 turns, and that's when you really kill them. But sometimes it's hard to do that, so it's tricky. And also poison doesn't count towards the 3. Because it has to be attack damage, not just taking damage. Let's see. We can use this one for free here. We'll try to do 3 damage to this one to get it out of the way, but we're still going to try to block this attack. Actually, I think this is technically within our healthcare plan, so we actually don't have to worry about taking damage from that guy at all. Amazing. Okay. In that case, we could use Nightmare on Noxious Fumes like I said in the example, and I think we'll actually do that. Because now it doesn't really matter that much whether or not it's flying at all, because the poison doesn't get affected by flight. If it's poisoned, it's poisoned. Oh man. I still took damage from that. Why? I don't fully understand that, because... Did I take damage from that? I'm pretty sure I did. But it was 6 times 2. I thought they counted as 2 separate attacks. I mean, in most cases they do, but I guess not in regards to this. Because I still took damage. Oh no, because the Orichalcum blocked the first 6, but then the second 6 is greater than 5, so I took that damage. I see. So I just have to be a bit more wary about that stuff, I guess. Now 3 times 5 I can definitely deal with my healthcare plan here. So I'll just focus on using Noxious Fumes, because I don't have to worry about taking damage this turn. And I could use a Catalyst on this guy. They're basically dead next turn at this point. Alright. I'm getting really confident about this strategy. I'm certain we can beat at least the next boss, but the last boss, I don't know. I'm still wary, but I'm getting more confident. Okay. Still take... Oh, we actually didn't take damage from Regret because of the Tungsten Rod, because there was it only did 1 damage, so it didn't do any damage. Awesome. That's the best sort of thing, when we have a curse-based strategy and we're still able to deal with the curses. That's pretty strong. Okay, now I don't think we can kill in this turn. And it's not gonna be great if we can't. So let's just do that. Oh no. Oh, I should have played 1,000 cuts first. Dang it. They have 1 health left. Let's see. Is there anything else I could do? Let's use the Gambler's Brew and try to get an attack card. Yes. and now they're dead. The Gambler's Blue just, I mean, you saw it happen. It just discards all the cards in your hand, and then you get the same amount of cards back. That's a pretty good potion. One of the stronger potions. It gives you plated armor, which is... It basically gives you 4 block every turn. Or plated armor. It gives you block every turn, and then if they get past that block, then the number of plated armor goes down by 1. It's a kind of a confusing status, but it is pretty good. Okay. Let's get backflip, because we can get more cards in our hand that way, while still doing more block than other blocks, on our other defensive cards, I should say. Another chance to get a curse? Well, how could I resist? Venturing through a series of tombs, you are faced with a large sarcophagus studded with gems in the center of a circular room. You cannot make out the writing on the coffin, however. You do notice black fog seeping out from the sides. Let's hope we get the curse, and if not, then, you know, it's still fine. We get a relic. Great, we got a curse. Unceasing Top, which, obvious reference to the Matrix. Wait, sorry, not Matrix. I get those two confused. Inception. Whenever you have no cards in your hand during your turn, draw a card. That's a pretty good relic to have, honestly. I mean, there's not a lot of times when we're gonna have that, but it's still pretty good. You push the Jesus, I can't read. You push open the coffin. As you do, black fog spews forth and covers the entire room. Inside you find no body, only a relic. You take it and move onwards, coughing violently. The curse that we got is actually one of the normal curses that just doesn't do anything. The only thing bad about this one is that it always appears in your hand at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the battle, because it's innate. And innate is a cool property to have on cards that are powerful, but it sucks to have as a curse because it's like one less card that you begin the battle with. And we'll just rest up. And going into the boss with 46 health, not too confident about that particularly, but we'll do what we can. But let's use 1,000 cuts. Neutralize. I think we'll use the backpack on the curse to get rid of it. Masterful Stab. Which is great that we got that now, because we probably won't be able to use it for the rest of the battle. We don't need to use backflip right now. We'll do 9 damage, and then deal 11 damage 3 times, 33. Awesome. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to use our poison stuff on the first turn, because we could have set it up while this guy was summoning minions, which is what he's about to do. And I know that because I fought this guy before. And they are difficult to deal with because they all do a lot of damage. And our setup is not built for blocking a lot of damage, it's built for blocking a certain amount of damage and then not having to block any more damage after that. So this is going to be tricky. Oh boy. Again, playing this defend is not worth it on its own, so we're basically forced into using these cards, even though it's not going to save us from the damage that's about to happen. So let's weaken these guys. Here's the thing, weakening this guy I think will save us from the most damage, probably, but weakening one of these guys will put it within the range of our healthcare plan, probably, it's hard to tell. If I do it at least on this guy, I know I won't take any of this damage. And I think 8 less damage will be a better deal than even this guy, so let's go with that. Yeah, that'll be fine. But then the rest of the attacks I can't deal with. So let's use the plated armor. I mean, when else are we gonna save it? And that's on top of the Orichalcum. I think the Orichalcum activates first. It might be that this activates first, in which case we should just defend because I screwed that up. Damn it. Okay, well, it's better that way. We'll get away from even more damage. Okay. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but this is Snecko oil, and yeah, you can see what it does there. Draw 5 cards, randomize the cost of cards you use. Took some damage there. It's not great. Oh man, I hope we get Apotheosis, because that might actually save us. This amount of damage will actually kill us unblocked. So we have to do something. I'm not sure what we can do specifically. We could kill this guy. We can kill this guy with Bane. We should just do that. It'll minimize damage. We'll use this, get rid of regret, because fuck that. I'm not gonna take additional damage on top of all this. We could do Caltrops, which means they'll take damage from hitting us, which is good to deal with minions, but at the same time, it's not gonna stop them from attacking, so there's probably something better we can do than that. Let's see. I think if we use this, it'll also kill this minion. 7, 14, 21. Not quite. I don't think. Unless we actually use our other attack to hit it. Which we could do. So, let's do that. Let's hit this guy. Use Dagger Spray. And just take the rest of that damage. Still took some damage there, but not so bad. And he's actually going to inflict a negative effect instead of summoning. So that's good, at least. Better than it could be. Double that poison. We can't block him from doing that effect. There actually is something that can block effects called Artifact, which is an effect itself. And we actually saw it earlier, I explained it, but you can actually get that effect on your character as well, but we don't have the stuff that does that, so. Yeah. This is so bad. It's like, hey, your blocking does bad, everything does bad now. But we got Apotheosis. We might be saved. Well, we can gain dexterity, and we can't use this. Let's just try using this Neko Oil. I mean, even though it is random, we could get 0 cost cards or 1 cost cards that might be helpful, because none of this stuff is, we're not going to be able to use any of this stuff left in our hand. We still have energy left, and this guy isn't attacking, so it's the perfect opportunity to. For some reason, the stuff in my hand was also randomized, so we can use this actually, not the actual useful stuff. And we can use Finisher, I guess, but it won't do any damage. So that sucks. But at least this will inflict weak, which might save us in the end. And I mean, we can still use Finisher, but it's not going to do any damage. Oh, it did 1 damage for some reason. Okay. And now we have to deal with more minions. Oh boy. We can try to get rid of one of these. But I think we might just die. It might not even matter what we do at this point. But we'll try. We'll try to kill this one. I don't think it actually matters. Yeah, we can get rid of one of these. Okay. There's a slight. I think we might actually survive this. No, wait. Barely. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my. There's so little chance we get out of this now. I think if we kill this minion, they might change their minds into summoning minions, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't work. So we can deal 9 damage. There's just not a lot we can do here. Okay. We can apply 2 weak, so we can weaken this guy as well. If I use this on this guy, he actually will die. I mean, I don't think that'll save us, but yeah, he'll die. We can use 1 more block, and I don't know. I don't think we're surviving this. Okay, we somehow survived that. I have no idea how, because I was certain we were going to die there. We may actually survive now. Okay, I'm so glad we have Survivor in our hand, because if not, I would have died to regret. Actually, it wouldn't. I might have been able to get out of it because of the tungsten rod, but in any case, I'm going to get rid of it because I don't even want a chance of that happening. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so stressful. Okay. Deal 9 damage twice. Deal 12 damage. And they're dead. They're already dead. This is kind of why this game is awesome. It just gets to such high stakes. I lived with 1 health left. Oh my god. somehow these things saved me. I don't even know how, but something in here saved me. Ah, man. Well, I'm just baffled at this point. I don't even know what to say about that. There's just what is there to say about that? I almost died. Okay. This turn your next skill is played twice. We might go with that. Attack dealing double damage. This is good to play on an off turn where you don't have to deal any more damage and you're already blocking any attack. So, yeah, this one is ultimately more useful than this one, I think. Let's just go with this. Okay, Wrist Blade. Attacks that cost 0 deal 4 additional damage. That's for the knife setup, basically, which won't be as useful to us. Runic Pyramid. This thing sounds cool, but will probably fuck you over because it's just at the end of your turn, you no longer discard your hand, which means you can get stuck with a bunch of useless cards in your hand. It's bad. Sozu. Gain energy at the start of your turn. You can no longer obtain potions. Now, I don't use potions that much anyways, even though they are useful. I will probably just go with this one. Energies. Is it worth getting another energy per turn if I can't use potions? I mean, the thing that potions are good for is getting you out in a pinch. So... But I mean, energy... I'll just be able to use more cards. Yeah, I'll just get this. It'll probably help us more in the end than potions could. What is that? I don't recognize that boss. So, this might be a new one. Actually, maybe. I'm not sure. This might be... the Enlightened, I think is what it's called. And it's just a pain to deal with. Oh, but look at this. We can just use these question marks as like a way to get around a lot of these enemies. Because we don't want to fight them for the most part if all we're getting out of it is a card. And 0 potions now is even less incentive to fight actual enemies. There's still incentive to fight elites, but I'm gonna try to avoid as many as possible. As many enemies as possible, anyways. Okay, so in the top of the spire, there's a lot more abstract enemies, and these exploders, we want to get rid of them first because they explode doing 30 damage after 3 turns, whereas this thing most of the time just does effects instead of attacking. Also, the fact that they're all attacking right now is dumb, and I don't want to deal with it. But we have so much energy now. We can probably just deal with most of this. Yeah, we'll just kill one of these. I don't think we can pull that off again and killing this exploder in 1 turn, but we should be able to kill it before it explodes at least. That being said, man, I really don't have to think that much about cards I'm playing anymore because I know I'm not gonna, I know I'm gonna be able to use most of them anyways. guess I'll use this. Oh man, Apotheosis. Well, that's the perfect use for my 2 energy that I had left. Yep, this thing is gonna explode this turn, so we need to deal with it 100%. Crap. We actually can, without much damage at all. Without much damage? What am I talking about? Without much trouble at all. Yeah, it's gonna die from poison, actually. And then we can hit this thing with that. 8 block might put us in the range. I think it does actually put us in the range of our health gameplay. And then activate Noxious Fumes. I didn't use whatever card that was because I forget that I have that that unceasing top now. Okay. Well, we do have a lot of poisoning moves already. I kind of don't want the upgraded backpack, because you discard 2 cards now with it. I kind of like the option of just discarding, like if I know I want to discard 1 card, not 2. So I'll probably go for this one, because it plays into our poison deck. Alright, time to read a bunch of words. Winding halls. As you slowly make your way up the twisting pathways, you constantly find yourself losing your way as the walls and ground seem to inexplicably shift before your eyes. The constant whispering voices in the back of your head aren't helping either. Passing by a structure you are certain you have previously seen, you start to question if you are going insane, or if the impossible geography of this place is starting to get to you. You need to change something soon. That's what the voices say anyway. And why would they lie? Okay, so we can embrace madness and receive 2 madness cards, which are okay. They reduce the cost of a random card in your hand to 0 for the rest of the fight. Honestly, I didn't consider the fact that it actually is for the rest of the fight, because that's craziness. But you lose 9 HP. I mean, at this point we do have full health, but we're trying to keep as much health as possible for the end, because I might get to the end with full health and still die, because that's just how hard the boss is. We'll see. We can become cursed with Writhe and get HP, which we don't need HP, but another curse is another point of power towards us. So that's what we're gonna do. I didn't read the rest of that, sorry. Actually, I think I can go back. As you take a moment to stop and carefully observe the undulating landscape around you, the hint of a pattern starts to emerge from the randomness. Whenever the demented noises begin to interrupt your thoughts, you struggle through the mental pain and ignore it. Eventually, you successfully map out a path forward and continue on, now resistant to the nefarious nature of this alien place. Okay. It's actually kind of risky getting so many question marks in this final area. Falling. As you head upwards, hopping from one floating shape to another, you slip. You begin to fall. While in free fall, you consider your options. Land safely with your greatest techniques. Channel a power to survive the fall. Strike at the wall to hang on to it. And now this is making you lose a card. So we want to pick a card that's not so useful to us. And Survivor is immensely useful to us because it gets rid of the regret curse in our hand. And Noxious Fumes is obviously very important to us, so we'll have to get rid of Strike. You were able to latch onto the wall and manage to make a short hop onto another stable platform. Tomb of Lord Redmask. A highly ornamented tomb can be seen on the other side of a floating path. Upon reaching the tomb, you notice a slot for gold coins with a scratched-out inscription above. I can offer all my gold and obtain a relic, or I could leave. If you have the red mask, I think you can just steal all the money in the thing. But basically, this is the tomb of the, I guess, Thief Lord. Maybe there's some lore to this, because there's other thieves that all wear red masks, and I'm guessing this might be their god? Question mark? Leader? Religion? Way of life? I don't know. But in any case, it's kind of worth it to get the thing, even if I lose all my money for it, because I don't really want to buy that many more cards anyways. But what the mask does is it inflicts weakness. I can't remember what. Oh, it says right here, the red mask. At the start of combat, apply 1 week to all enemies. So I really like that they tell you what it is, so you can weigh your options well. And weakness is good to start out with, so I'm just gonna get that. An opening appears in the tomb, and out slides a small red mask with a note attached. Take from others as I have taken from you. Which I love that line. Now, here's an option. Jutting from the chaotic terrain around you, a bony sphere surrounds a mysterious glowing object within. While you are curious about what lies inside, you notice some sentries keeping an eye on it. The reward is random. It's basically just the same as if you fought a whatever the strong enemies are called. And last time I did this, the relic I got was not worth it. And although there's probably a good chance you can get a good relic out of this, I don't want to spend my health to get it, so I'm gonna leave. No need to be greedy. We can avoid combat even further by going to the campfire and just upgrading instead of resting. What should we upgrade? Let's see. Well, Apotheosis, of course. It upgrades all my cards. Why wouldn't I upgrade it? Man, that is such a cool card. It's pure luck that we stumbled across it, honestly. And also pure luck that we were able to afford it. This is the thing, though. Now these curses are getting kind of annoying to deal with because they're taking up a lot of slots. So we probably won't take many more after this. I mean, 4 extra damage, probably already enough. 6 damage is fine, but not after 8 damage. Actually, they're already weakened. This is already weakened damage, so we can't weaken them further to try to get them to do less. So we'll just block as much of it as we can. That's actually enough blocking. Also, I failed to mention, the trick with these enemies is you have to kill them all basically in 1 turn. Or you don't have to kill them all in 1 turn. You have to make sure that they are all dead on the same turn. Otherwise they will regenerate individually if one of them is still alive. Which is annoying, but it is what it is. And it's if we're well equipped enough, we can handle it pretty well. Okay. Block that attack. Use another Noxious Fumes. We'll also use 1,000 Cuts. We'll double the poison on this one because it's going to take the most damage from it. And move on to the next turn. This one's probably going to die before the other two, but we have one turn in between to try to kill the other two before this one respawns. So we'll try to do that. Let's see. Well, this is pretty much the perfect thing to use on this one. Well, actually, probably on this one. Oh, well, whatever. Doesn't really matter. A block is a block. And we'll use Noxious Fumes. Oh, we're lucky that this guy actually didn't die. I mean, we actually will take damage still from that guy, so that's not great, but he actually did die. Crap! Well, we have to try to beat both these guys pretty quick then. And our defense is down. Dang it. That's not great. Not great for us. We can try to kill this guy in one turn. We can see if we can do that. Great. Died in one turn. Perfect. I mean, ideally that's what we're trying to do with all of them. But he was the priority because he's dead. Let's see. Let's use this. And this, I guess. This one isn't gonna regenerate immediately. It's going to regenerate after this turn. And so is this one, actually. But this one is gonna die on this turn. So we're actually fine. Perfect. We still lost health, but I mean, it's really inevitable. Also, we didn't get that potion because of this thing. Also, I love that they do the little effect so you know when each of these is getting activated. It's just a little easier to keep track of things. This is the one I was talking about. In Venom, whenever an attack deals unblocked damage by 1 poison. I don't know if you remember, I mentioned this like 2 hours ago. But yes, this is the thing that kind of combines the two knife and poison strategies. And it's just good all around, so we're going to take it. The Maw. Well, let's just kill this thing already. I really wonder how far we're gonna get with all this, because we have a good setup, but is it good enough to take on the boss? I don't know. Okay. Took damage from that. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Let's deal 15 damage here. We'll use Bouncing Flask. And this one. And we want to remedy this this frailness with some dexterity. I could have gone with Caltrops, but I just thought blocking damage is more important. That's sick. It actually, I think, tripled it because Apotheosis upgrades all the cards. And who's Bane? This poison stuff really stacks up once you get that whatever that card is called. Dang it, I can't remember. And hopefully that'll be enough to take down the boss. I don't know if I want either of those, or any of these. I think they just clutter up my deck a little bit. I mean, we already have a pretty chunky deck here. So, but the more we add to it now, the less we'll be able to really execute our strategies well. So, I might just, I mean, even if they are good cards, like this one, I mean, they all could be good in their own scenarios. And they could even be good in our deck, but, like I said, the more cards we have, the more our strategy's thinned out. It's not that great. Okay. We've got another turn in the road here. We want to head towards these campfires. Or actually, oh, we're going to have to fight an elite either way. So I guess we'll go this way. Dang. Guess we're not getting out of that. The Regal Pillow. This is the perfect item to get before the rest because it increases the amount of HP we get by 15, which is awesome. Sensory Stone. Navigating through the beyond, you discover a glowing tesseract spinning and shifting gently in the air. You touch it. A sharp pain flows through you, followed by vivid flashes of a distant memory. Whose memories are these? Now this is just more adding cards to our deck. And now these are colorless cards, which are different from colored cards because they're just pretty useful in any situation, really. We have a couple of them, I think. Let's see. Actually, I think the only one we have is Apotheosis. Yeah. But they're not all as good as Apotheosis. And in any case, I don't want to use HP to get more cards. I barely want cards anyways. Uses 9 strength this turn. This is the thing again. Well, I'll take this one, because this one we'll only see once, and then we use it, and then it's exhausted, and we won't have to deal with it cluttering up our deck anymore. And it's pretty good to boot. I mean, if we get something like this, it's really just cluttering up. I mean, it does 3 damage. Even if it's free, it's just 3 damage. And even if this does 6 damage, it's clutter. You know, because we could get a better card if that one weren't there. So we'll take this one. Fear. A demonic creature towers above you, wings spread wide as it howls with laughter. Dead bodies of a tribe surround you while the village is engulfed in terrible dark flames. The demon calls out to you, taunting you. You really are the strongest now. Ha ha! This laughter echoes forever. This is interesting. This particular event will give you the random memories of one of the characters, and this one is clearly from the Ironclad, which is interesting. I didn't really realize there was more to him as a character. It kind of makes sense though, like there's a demon. Like I guess he made a pact with a demon or something. I don't know. It's interesting to think about. I've gotten memories from, I think, all three of the other characters at this point. So this was the last one I hadn't seen. Alright, time to rest up before we fight the elite here. And this could actually be pretty annoying. I mean, this is not a great start with 3 curses in our hand. I mean, it would be 2 curses anyways, because these are both innate, but... I kind of want to hang on to this because it would be useful later. Potentially more useful than now. Let's just kill one of these. If we can. Oh, we can't. Well, dang it. This is not a great situation to be in. We're gonna take damage no matter what. So, I guess we'll use that to minimize damage. And they have sharp blades, so we're getting wounds shuffled into our deck. Which do not go away, like the Dazed. They just stay there for the rest of the battle. It's annoying. This is a cool design for an enemy, but she's difficult to deal with. Okay. We can just use all these cards. There's just nothing to think about here. Except I should have used that card on her instead of because that one died anyways. Well, whatever. Yeah, taking a lot of damage here. And we still aren't even in a good place to take her out. We don't have any poison! This is not great. Do the leg sweep. We'll attack this guy to minimize damage. And I guess get 10 block, because that'll block it completely. We're not going to do that because, I mean, we don't have any energy left. We can't play pretty much any cards we could get. Okay. She's going to summon more swords. It's going to be super annoying. And get rid of that. I guess I'll use Nightmare on backflip. Did that even work? Oh, it did. Okay. It just went so fast I didn't think it worked. And I can use those. Great. I should have used backflip and then just used those cards. well, I guess now I can use backflip. But do I want to do that even? I could use all three. It would be a huge waste of other cards, though. Let's use 10. Well, we'll just block all the damage. It's fine. And we have some energy left for some reason. Okay. That's great. That's great, actually. We want Envenom and Caltrops is really good at dealing with minions, so I guess we'll do that. Okay. We'll use dash here. Poison her again. Use Phantasmal Killer. Backflip. Okay. We're whittling her down. I think she can only summon one minion at a time at least, so this is great. Because I think we can manage one at a time. Mostly. 2 block. Gonna need to backflip as well. Cloak and dagger. This one's gonna die next turn, so and it's not gonna. I don't need to block its damage anymore, so I'm not gonna bother killing it. And it died from the Caltrops, so that's great. Well, let's inflict more damage. Use Infinite Blades. And triple poison. She's dead! Awesome. We actually kept a decent amount of health, so that's great. Toxic Egg, it would have been good to have earlier, because it just upgrades skills whenever you get more in your deck. And I wish I could get this fruit juice because it upgrades your max health, but I can't because of the potion thing. That's unfortunate. That was the one thing, that was the one reason why I was really considering not getting that, is because of fruit juice. But I didn't really think I would get any. Unfortunate. Let's get oh, this is a Caltrops Plus. Let's get that. And we'll just heal up twice on the way there. I guess even once would be enough, but we'll see. I can't really buy anything in here, except for a backflip. Is it worth it though? I feel like it'd just clutter up my deck more. I know I keep talking about this, and it seems counterintuitive that like getting more cards would be bad, but with this character specifically, I think that is the case. Because that's pretty much what I found through playing her so much, trying to get to the end anyways. It's like, I just keep losing. And I think it's because I can't execute any of my strategies without going through all of my cards at least once, you know. But anyways, I don't need any of that stuff. Is the 1 extra health gonna matter? Or could I upgrade a card? Does it matter? What would I upgrade? I guess in Venom I would upgrade. I feel like not resting feels like hubris, but it's literally 1 health. It's 1 health. I mean, I saved myself with 1 health last time, so we'll just go with what we have. We'll just heal the 1 health. It'll probably be worth it in the end. Ah, yes, this is it. The awakened one. I think I said enlightened one before. It's the awakened one. We've dealt with cultists before. We can get them out of the way. I've actually beaten the awakened one before, just not with this character. Oh, I'm feeling pretty confident. I think I can do it. Okay. We'll use 2 defense because the 5 will be blocked out by our healthcare plan. We use noxious fumes, strike. I think we just want to get rid of these guys first because they get more attack every turn. Also, this guy has a special thing called Curiosity, which every time you use a power, his strength goes up by 1 because he's very curious, which I can respect. Also, you might notice he's unawakened. A special thing happens when he is awakened, which is that he gets all of his health back, and it's really, really scary the first time you see it, because you're like, oh my god, I, like, used up, like, it took all of my energy just to get him this far. How am I even going to beat him after all that? But I think we can do it. Also, his regenerate for some reason. Whatever. But we're not even dealing with him yet, so it's probably fine. Why did I take that damage? Dang it. I didn't think I would. Well, that's not great. That's not a good start. Okay, we want noxious fumes. We want to play all the defense that we have. I guess I'll just use poison stab on one of these guys. Try to get rid of him as soon as possible. This is really scary though. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, already almost half health. But we got Apotheosis early on, so that's good. We are going to use it, and we're going to leg sweep this guy. Oh, I should have used Dexterity first. Well, better late than never, I guess? No. Yeah, we're going to need the defense, even if we can't use it this turn. Also, we got the poison set up early, so even if we're taking a lot of damage now, I think it'll be worth it in the end. This is the perfect time to use this card. I mean, tripling poison would be... Oh, now this is a tricky problem. If I kill this guy now with Catalyst, I won't lose any health. But Catalyst is better used on this guy. Who am I kidding? I can just do damage to him later. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It might be a waste for now, but it'll keep me alive. I'll have plenty of opportunities to do damage to this guy later, even if it's not with poison. Okay. He's gonna do another big attack now. That's very intimidating. This 9 times 4 is 18 times 2 is 36? I think. Which would kill me at this point if I didn't block. So I will block. I guess I can use all of these. I wasn't really thinking about it. Right. I'm not gonna use that. Whew. I mean, I knew I was gonna survive that time, but it's still scary. So now we have to survive this time. And how are we gonna do that? I guess we'll backflip. Like tweak. I don't know that that really did enough to help us out here. We might die here. One of these cards is going to have to stay in my hand, and that's going to be 2 damage to regret. And, man, it just doesn't look good for me. Really feeling the regret now. The thing is, I don't really know what I could have done all that differently. I feel like I played pretty well this time. I guess, there's just not a lot I could have done. Like, I might still be saved here. Probably not. Yeah. That's it. Well, it was a good run. We did make it to the end again. I say again because I've gotten to the end many times with this character just to die at the very last boss. And as I said before, I did enter the boss with full health and still died. So it just goes to show, even with a good setup, it's hard to play this character. And I can't really pinpoint exactly why that is, because the other characters, well, I mean, I mean, I think this character is just supposed to be a bit harder to deal with. I mean, the poison strategy in general is relying on the number of turns that you stay alive, whereas other characters are all about dealing a lot of damage. This one is about planning to do damage, which means not doing as much damage in the moment. Except with the whole shiv thing, which we didn't do this time because we didn't really have any golden opportunities to do that. So yeah, this was fun. It was still a fun run. I'm really glad that we got to see this strategy with Orichalcum, Tori, and the Tungsten Rod, because that was just incredible. I didn't realize that that these relics could synergize so well together, but um, now I've learned. Also, the Duvu doll probably screwed me over because I couldn't, I didn't um, get all the cards that I needed. Probably should have stopped at 3 curses, and paid attention to the fact that the innate curses are going to be in my hand every time I start, which could, I mean, that's 2 less cards that I could actually use. So, oh well. I'll try again another time. I actually meant to live stream this, but since I did it on a whim, I couldn't actually because my YouTube account had to be verified for 24 hours before actually being able to do that. So next time it will. Maybe tomorrow even. Yeah, this has been fun, and I guess see you next time. And now I'm going to stop